Good morning to all. 7th standard biology. Chapter 12 reproduction in plants. Chapter 12 reproduction in plants. The reproduction is two types. The first one is asexual and the second one is sexual. Asexual means the asexual new plants are obtained without the production of seeds. Okay, yeah. So here is called asexual reproduction. The asexual reproduction suggests vegetative propagation, fragmentation, spore formation, and buddings. Okay. So today you already studied vegetative propagation. The vegetative propagation you studied stem and leaf, root also you study. Then today topic fragmentation, spore formation, and also budding. Okay, today topic budding, fragmentation, and spore formation. Okay, a simple one in the previous class. The advantage of vegetative propagation. The plants that are produced without vegetative propagation grow faster than those that are produced with sexual reproduction. Second one, the plant that reproduce with vegetative reproduction have fruits and flowers ahead of time. Third one, the plant that are produced have exactly the same characteristics as that of their parent. Okay, yeah. These are advantages of vegetative propagation. First one, today topic budding. The best example, yeast, a single cell one. Okay, a small activity. Ola, take a page number 135 in your science book. Ola, take a page number 135. Budding, a small activity. This activity, the observation of budding in yeast. Okay, you take a piece of yeast cake or a yeast powder and place it in a container filled with water. The yeast powder are available at a shop. Okay, now you add a spoon of sugar and shake it to dissolve. Okay, you take a container and fill with water and also add yeast powder and one spoon of sugar and shake it dissolve. Keep the container in a warm place. Okay, after an hour put a drop of this liquid on a glass slide and observe the slide under a microscope. What do you see? We see a formation of a new yeast cell. Okay, so the small bulb-like projection you seen in a microscope and coming out in the yeast cell. These are called bud. Yeast produce asexual through budding. Okay, so yeast is an organism. It's one of the organism that contains a single cell. It is a fungi, not a plant. It is a fungus. Okay, it is one of the fungus. It's not a plant. It's a organism that contains a single cell. Okay, and then it can propagate every few hours if the proper amount of nutrients are available to it. As the yeast find favorable condition, you listen, it's a favorable condition, a small bulb-like projection produced from the yeast called bud. You see the picture. First one is a yeast cell. The second one is the developing of bud. Then the third one, separate the bud. Okay, the bud detached and form a new one. Okay, As the yeast find favorable condition, a small bulb-like projection produced from the yeast called bud. The bud grows gradually and then gets detached from the parent yeast. This new cell then grows, matures and produces more cell. Okay. Sometimes a chain of buds are formed, the last picture D, which leads to the production of a large number of yeast altogether. This is a budding in yeast. Then we goes to a fragmentation. Algae like Spirogyra generally reproduce by the process of fragmentation, in which they divide themselves into multiple parts. As soon as the algae find enough water and nutrients, it fragments and grows into new individuals. This process continues and algae multiply quickly in the short period of time. This is a multiple quickly in a short period of time. You see the picture, the fragmentation of algae. For example, Spirogyra. Okay, Spirogyra is an alga. Okay. You see the slide, the septum, it is separate the septum inside. The first Spirogyra divided into two, then the two is divided into 4-1 and form a 4-1. This is fragmentation in Spirogyra. Okay. Then we goes to a spore formation. Some plants contain spores that float in the air and cause asexual reproduction. Some plants contain spores and float in the air and cause asexual reproduction. A spore has a hard protective cover which protects it from the unfavorable environmental condition like temperature and humidity also. Okay. As a result, the spores can travel long distance and survive for a long duration of time. As soon as they find favorable conditions such as moist and nutrients, they germinate and form new plants. So, for example, mosses and ferns propagated this way. Fungus, spores formation in fungus. You see the slide, the hypha and sporangium at the top. The sporangium have some spores and bust. Okay, the sporangium produce some spores. Okay, then we goes to ferns. For another one example for spore formations, ferns. The ferns is a தமிழில் பெரணின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. இது வந்து ஃபாரஸ்ட்டில் யூஸ் இன் டீப் ஃபாரஸ்ட்டில் பார்க்கலாம். ஓகேயா? Reproduction through spore formation in ferns. You see the slide, the ferns in the fern, spore forming of the body. You see the slide, a small tiny holes are seen in a leaf. This is called sorus. This is produced sporangia. Okay, this is a sporangia. It will release the sorus and reproduce it. Okay, so in this class we studied budding, fragmentation and also spore formation, the three types of asexual reproductions. Okay, then we studied next session sexual reproductions. All are read the page number 135 and also 136. Okay, thank you.